Hello and welcome to Arabic Leader. This is Abraham with you. Today is actually it's my very first broadcast. I have never used it, but I thought I will give it a try. So here I am. I'm trying this new feature, and I thought we'll give it a try and see. Hopefully, be able to answer some of the questions a lot of you may have, and be able to help. Also, as we are trying this as a first time, I thought we could give you a little bit of Arabic as well. Uh, how we would you ask someone how they are in Arabic? In Arabic, we've got a variety of phrases that people use to ask each other how they are. So the very first one, and always we have to remember that in Arabic we have feminine and masculine. With masculine, if you say how you are, you could say shlon, shlonak, 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 if you're talking to a masculine, shlonak. Whereas if you're talking to a feminine, you would say shlonek, shlonek, shlonek. Shlonak Ahmad and Shlonek Sarah. So that's the very first phrase. We've got another phrase which is very short. It's combined of kif, which means how, kif, and the possessive pronoun. So, for example, if you're talking to the person directly, you could say kifak, kifak, kifak. Kifak John, or Kifak Ahmad, or Kifak, and then you could add the person after it. Whereas if you talk to a feminine, you would just say Kifek, 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 how are you? So that would be the difference between masculine and the feminine, is very much the ending. So for the masculine ends with an ak, whereas the feminine ends with an ek. So that's the second phrase you would use to ask someone how they are. The third option you could use, it is kif as well, kif, and umur, which means like things, news, everything, everyday routine, where people tend to say kif, umur, ak, kif, umurak, and then coming back again, we have to change the ending depending on the person you're talking to. So if you're talking to a masculine, second person, you would say Kif umurak, John. Kif, which means how, umur, things, everyday routine, and ak, which is the possessive pronoun, and it's directed to you, masculine, and that's how we differentiate it between masculine and feminine. So you would say Kif umurak, Kif umurak Ahmad, Kif umurak Ahmad, Kif umurak John. And if you talk to feminine directly, which is second person, you could say Kif umurek, Kif umurek, Kif umurek. There's also this one, it goes without saying, that in Middle East always people tend to ask about like family, friends, everyone they know, like mutual friends. So let's say if you would ask about, how's family, you could say kif, which means how, kif al-aile, kif al-aile, how is family, kif, which means how, and al-aile, which means family, kif al-aile, kif al-aile. Our next phrase is one of the most used between friends and between families. And my friends all the time, they do ask me, and they say, what's up? What's up? So what's up in Arabic is shufi mafi, shufi mafi, shufi mafi, shufi mafi, shufi mafi. Or final phrase, you could ask people how they are, or what are you up to these days. It is شو عم تساوي هالأيام, شو عم تساوي هالأيام, شو عم تساوي هالأيام. And you could use it actually for both, for male and female, masculine and feminine. Shu, which means what, it's an ing equivalent, and تساوي is the verb you are doing. هالأيام these days. شو عم تساوي هالأيام? What are you up to these days? And now the responses. The responses, we've got a variety of responses in Arabic, and it goes without saying that Arabic, it is one of the most poetic languages that people would use, and people would reply in the most polite way to other people if they ask, how they are. So we've got a number of phrases for you ready, which you could, again, at the end of it, you could pause and listen to it back again. Let's start. So the very first one and the very common is Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, which means thank God, thank God. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, or praise be to God, praise be to Allah. And it is Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. The other one, which is saying like, okay, not bad, is Mashi il Hal. Mashi il Hal, Mashi il Hal. We've got منيح, منيح. The ha sound, the ha sound. Imagine you've got glasses like me and you're trying to blow hot air, and that's the letter ha, 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 ha. So that's the letter ha. And منيح, منيح, which means good or fine. منيح, منيح. And you could say منيح وأنت if you're talking to a masculine, or you say كيفك أنت. You could say منيح, and you could say منيح وأنت, and you وأنت. And whereas if you're talking to a feminine, you would say, كيفك سارة, كيفك سارة, how are you, Sarah? And Sarah would reply منيحة, منيحة, منيحة وأنت, منيحة وأنت, replying to a guy. Or you could reply to a feminine if the other person as well as a feminine is asking how are you. So you could say وأنتي or أنتي. So here we've got a variety of phrases that we may be able to use in response to some of the greetings, or when sometimes one of your Arab friends or family or anyone of your colleagues at work, when they ask, how are you in Arabic. The other one, which is tamam. Tamam, which means great, fine, great, fine, great, great. So it is tamam, tamam, tamam. It's a very easy and simple phrase. It's actually as well used in Turkish. So it's a very nice and easy phrase to use. One of the phrases is like, it's going, it's fine, not bad, not great. It's just going along. It's one of those phrases where people tend to use it, but a lot of people don't really understand that. So I'm going to give it to you guys. It is am dafish. Am dafish literally means I'm pulling along, but obviously the dafash, which is basically like to push with a great effort. So I'm dafish, it's going all right. I'm dafish. I'm dafish. Great. Well, thank you very much for watching this. If you liked it, please don't forget to give a big thumbs up. And if you loved it, don't forget to subscribe and share it. And I do apologize. This is my very first broadcast using YouTube. So I do apologize if there are any of the fancy texts on the top or showing all the vocabulary. But hopefully, once I get my head around it and understand how this works properly, I will be adding more videos. So don't forget, keep it up and keep practicing Arabic and spread the love of learning Arabic. Thank you very much.